If you are opening, reading, and especially believing the articles of Gazzetta dello Sport this morning, it's the end of the world in La Continassa. It's a total disaster. Apocalypse, the pink paper, they're selling half of the team of Juve, led by Cambiaso, but I can guarantee you it's not the only name on that list. There are some shocking big names that I will reveal you in a second. And on top of that, not only the players, because Gazzetta, they also want to change the management. No more bonuses for Cristiano Giuntoli. I will explain you all of that in a second, but first of all, Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Tomorrow, press conference, 12 p.m. Italian time of Igor Tudor, and I'm extremely happy. I feel that Juventus is starting to do some things that I would do exactly the same, and I'm happy about that. For what reason? Because some people would tell you, Beppe, but we already have the press conference pre-Juve Genoa on Friday. Instead of going with another one on Thursday, couldn't they just mix both of them and it was okay? No. And no. Because Genoa, you need to speak about the game. You need to speak about the available players. We need to speak about maybe the potential starting lineup. Let's see if Tudor will reveal some names or not, focusing on that game of Genoa. But then you have something else that you need to split, and it's the welcome of Igor Tudor. Looks like Juventus, they start to communicate more, and I love that. Looks like Juventus is starting to communicate better, and I love that. And especially one thing that is really appreciated by me, putting their face on it, because tomorrow I want to hear Cristiano Giuntoli saying goodbye and thank you to Thiago Motta. I'm not expecting too many words on Thiago Motta, but especially opening a new chapter, even if it's a really short one. But I need Cristiano Giuntoli to take his accountability, responsibility to tell us about that. So I'm extremely happy. In today's video, I will also tell you what happened in day 2, the words of Tudor to Nico Gonzalez, that special request that is opening a world about the way of playing of Tudor in the next remaining games. First of all, let's put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We already said a lot in that beginning of the video, but I really wanted to thank you, because there is one thing that is boosting me a lot. I lost a bit. You remember last week, Monday, Tuesday, I didn't record any video after the Fiorentina disaster. Well, you're giving me that boost with the curiosity, that interest, your demand of Juve. When I see that the views are going high, mamma mia. So I'm asking you, it costed 0, maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe if you trust the channel, because now we continue. Cambiaso is the first one that is leading. And if you are reading the title, Cambiaso salva I conti. In the entire article, we see that Juventus, they have in their mind, according to La Gazzetta dello Sport, to sell a few players, to make plusvalenza. Cambiaso, 60 million to Manchester City. Bangula, the one that said thank you to Thiago Motta, 15 million away from Italy. Federico Gatti, interest from Newcastle, from Premier League, 25 million euro. Vlahovic, they are not putting a number on him, but they are confirming us that he will not renew for season 25, or he will not renew his contract. So last year of contract, he is confirmed on the market. On top of that, the loans, Conceição, Renato Vega, Kolo Muani, no chances to stay at Juve. And then they are even telling us there is a parachute, another solution. Extreme difficulty if Juventus is not able to do some profits with the player that we are ready, or not enough profit with the player that we just mentioned. Well, Kenan Yildiz, especially if we are not reaching top 4 this season, could be the one that will be the big sacrifice. So a total disaster. Why, Gazzetta? Why? Because according to them, sacking Thiago Motta cost Juventus 15 million euro, which means that they are obliged to do 30 million euro plus Valenza. 30 million, I'm not saying that it's not a lot, because it's a lot, of course. But if we want to avoid John Elkann opening again his wallet, putting money again, injecting money with a capital increase, we must do ourselves some sales. I think it's a bit exaggerated, because if we are counting all the players that they just said, Cambiaso, Bangula, Gatti, it's way more than 30 million euro. That's an apocalypse scenario if on top of that you are not reaching Champions League. But what they don't tell you, and that's something that I will tell you, is that they are not counting it totally correctly. They are just taking the worst case scenario. Because Juventus, sacking Thiago Motta, it's true that they are obliged to put 15 million euro aside, blocking immediately. That's a negative impact on our financial books. But if Thiago Motta finds a team already in the month of July, you don't pay the 15 million euro. They will be unblocked. They will be positive to the next books. So I don't have that really big fear, or I'm not that worried, because I don't believe that Thiago Motta, a young coach of 42, will stay 2 seasons at home. Could happen, everything can happen, but that's not really what I believe today, especially if we are already starting to read articles that are saying that there is an interest potentially of Atalanta for Thiago Motta for the post-Gasperini. Will that happen or not? I don't know, but I really believe that. And it could, and it's a paradox, even be beneficial for Juve if we continue with Tudor, because Thiago Motta finding another club, we are saving actually 3.5 million euro net per season. And Igor Tudor is one that we already agreed, a full year salary of 1.8, let's say 2 million euro. So you could, it's a paradox, but you could even benefit from the situation. So all that crazy scenario, I don't really believe in it. Calma. Will Juventus sell players? Yes, they will. But that list was really long. On the other side, you know what we should do? We should shush everyone like this. Winning the Club World Cup. Because this morning, FIFA, they announced that the club that will win the Club World Cup will earn $125 million. Yes, you heard it well. $125 million for the winners. Are we the favorites of that tournament? No, we are not the favorites. No, absolutely not. Let's try to focus on Genoa first. But guys, performing well in that tournament could save a lot of things that unfortunately we throw away ourselves. Now, not only the players, Gazzetta dello Sport is also going, and I told you about change of management. No more bonuses for Cristiano Giuntoli. Giuntoli, bonus finiti. Find space on the first page there, and then they continue to speak about that on page 5 inside. They are telling us that there are a lot of reasons why Cristiano Giuntoli is at risk, because the big spent money on the market, especially for 3 players, we know it, Nico Gonzalez, Douglas Luiz, co-managers that didn't perform. The relationship with Thiago Motta, because he was the one that backed him up and that really wanted him. The fact that we are eliminated of all the competition, well, it's too much to digest for Juventus ownership that are really putting him into doubt. Does that mean that Cristiano Giuntoli will leave? Certainly. No, it's not, but it could already be that Cristiano Giuntoli will see a bit less of responsibility. Today is chief of football. A restructuring could be possible also with the support, again, from the marketing, management, administrative side towards the sporting side, from Giorgio Chiellini and from Francesco Calvo, to support him, to give him some support, to be closer to him, so that it's not alone in managing something that he failed at, because we said it, the problems in the locker room, yes, Thiago Motta, but a part of responsibility is also the one of Cristiano Giuntoli. On the other side, there are some other articles, other voices, other rumors that are already thinking about the post-Cristiano Giuntoli. And since yesterday, we have some voices again, the voices and the names of Manna, ex of Juve, that is now sporting director of Napoli, the one of Tognozzi, that did miracles with the youth academy in scouting players, that became sporting director of Granada, failed there, but that would be happy to come back to Juve, depending, of course, in the position. So ex-Juve, Juventini, Manna has a huge tattoo of Juve on his forearm, and then the name of Conte. Looks like Juventus, they decided for 25-26, looks like, that they want to bring again Juventinità, real Juventinità, people that were already there, that understand it. This, of course, without Igor Tudor, because we know it, if you have the possibility for Conte, they would probably go for it. Even if today at midday I spoke with Daniele Longo, that is taking more care about Milan than Juve, a journalist from Italy, Calciomercato, that said, look, Conte next year 60% Napoli, 40% of Milan. If Paratici goes to Milan, so according to him, 0 chances for Conte to Juve, but that's for later. Let's enter the last topic of today, but an extremely important one. Igor Tudor in La Continassa. Today it's day 3. Yesterday, day 2, with more players that were there. I told you, again, Giuntoli, not only day 1, but also day 2, was the entire day with him, next to him, to support him, to back him up. And I'm extremely happy about that, because Giuntoli needs to be there. that's his responsibility. This is his job to not let him alone. We already did one mistake. I know that today a lot of people, a lot of tifosi are extremely angry with Giuntoli. They don't want to see him anymore. They already want him gone. He's the next one. I know all of that. And probably you're even right. But as long as he's the chief of football, his spot on the 25th, 24th, 26th, 27th of March is there on the field. Now, I think that also Giuntoli can breathe again a bit in saying, we have someone that will take care of the team. We have someone that will really take care of the team, and that is Igor Tudor, that probably we're starting a new relationship. So what new Juve? What can we already understand? We spoke about what happened in day one with "We Are Juve" words from Igor Tudor, that I can reassure you and confirm you that he literally said "Siamo la Juve," but not only the few rules of Igor Tudor, the intensity, etc., but also individual talks that already started. I will give you the request of Tudor to Nico Gonzalez in a second, but first of all, he wants to work on the defense. A defense that since 2015-2016 has never been that a disaster at Juve. 28 goals conceded. Of course, you need to take into consideration the 7 goals conceded against Atalanta and Fiorentina, but it didn't happen that we had a really disaster defense like this one that we can see at the moment since 15-16. That's why also Tudor, that is a center back that played also as a midfielder, in some moments also as a striker, but he was a center back. Well, he's could potentially be also the man for the situation, understanding that we need to stop the bleeding. We need really to build again the wall, even if it is without Gleison Bremer. So he already started to form his staff, a staff that will not be extra large for normal reason, because we have 9 games to play. That's it, guys. So you cannot come with an army of staff, etc. So quite limited, but really strategic one. He goes with Ivan Javorcic, that will be a vice coach, with Tomislav Rogic, that will be goalkeeper coach. People that are coming not only from Croatia, but from Split. So there is a really strong Croatian Split bound at Juve at the moment. And then we have Andrea Pertusio, Tommaso Orsini, and Riccardo Scirea, people that were already at Juve. You have some people that are not always necessarily linked to a technical staff, to a coach, but also that are part of Juve. Well, these guys are there since long. They already worked with Igor Tudor in 2021, so they are not new faces for him. But the vice coach, what we can say is that he already worked with Federico Gatti. He was his head coach in Pro Patria in season 2021, where Federico Gatti was there, and that's a good one. Expert of football, really great in terms of defensive phase, and that's also probably why Igor Tudor chose him again after he experienced together with him as a vice coach at Lazio when he took over from March until the end of the season after taking over from Maurizio Sarri. It's one that has always been head coach where he was, with Brescia in the youth, Brescia as a caretaker, then Mantova, Pro Patria, Südtirol, where he did a fantastic job, and then also at Venezia. So it's a limited staff, but a staff that he believes can really go for it immediately. Yesterday, there were some players that decided to skip their day off and anticipate their return to start working faster with Igor Tudor. We are speaking about Federico Gatti, about Nico Gonzalez, and about Dusan Vlahovic. In principle, I can tell you that this is something that I appreciate so much. You cannot even imagine how much I appreciate that. Coming back earlier, one day, that they deserve to have holidays. We don't rest a lot, but I appreciate it a lot. On the other side, my question is for all of them, who would have come back if it was not Igor Tudor, but still Thiago Motta? I will never have an answer on that. Because, of course, if you come back because you want to help Juve in an extremely difficult situation, well, you put the team before your own interest. If you come back because it's a new coach and you would probably not have come back for Thiago Motta, that means that you're thinking about yourself. You want, again, to gain a starting spot, to shine again, maybe to have a better mercato if you want to leave Juve at the end of the season. And that's something that probably I would appreciate less. We don't know. there is the doubt. I will let you think about it, but that's my logic thoughts about it. So what did he say, Tudor, to Nico Gonzalez yesterday? I told you the first initial individual talk started. He asked him the availability to play a bit further from the goal in a 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2, but there, as a wing back, further away from the goal, there. And that tells us that he really wants to go towards that three-man defense, 3-4-2-1, 3-4-1-2. Let's see. Then at the end, it's movements more than numbers. But that's what he asked to Nico Gonzalez. It's a player that he appreciates. What kind of Nico Gonzalez will we see? It's someone that was already running back, but that we were blaming especially for the offensive phase, which we were expecting a lot. Well, if Nico Gonzalez, we want him on the field. And guys, let's not lie about it. We are nearly obliged with Cambiaso, that is at the moment injured because he's training in an isolated way. I don't know if he will do it on time to recuperate, if he will be able to play 90 minutes. Well, we don't have a lot of choices. So that's why Nico Gonzalez will continue to play until Cambiaso is at 100%, and then probably they will rotate, or we will not see Nico Gonzalez anymore if he's not able to perform. But that could be something. So it's really interesting to see that. Tudor è un allievo di Lippi. Tudor is one that went to the school of Lippi. It's the beautiful title of Tuttosport, with double interview to Eduardo Reia, that coached him, and then Valon Berami, that was coached by him at Udinese. One said, the coach said, he enters immediately in the head, in the mind of the players. The other one that was coached by him at Udinese, also there, he came in as a caretaker. He said he has no filter, but he knows immediately where to go, what to touch for the players to transform them. And he can do it immediately. He's touching immediately your emotional part. And that's, I think, that's something what Juventus need, what Juventus really need. Then on Tuttosport, if you're going with the first page, and they take it as an assist to put Marcello Lippi next to Igor Tudor, well, we are playing to that romantic nostalgia side, that Juventinità that we all needed. And I can only be happy about that. Ragazzi, I hope you are doing well. I hope you went until the end of the video, that you appreciate it. So put a maximum of like. If you didn't yet, please continue to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.